What I remember a lot about that Rumble is every new entrant came right for you. Every
Yeah.
new entrant underlined that you were there, you were a threat, and like you said, you fed them.
Yep. That's the key.
Now, was that part planned that every guy was going to come right for you?
No, not really, but I think they knew, and if they knew me, they knew I'd be there. Does that
Well, and
make
they also
sense?
knew you'd make him look good. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think of an example where a guy went 60 minutes to win a match and made everybody else look great.
Have gun will travel.
Here's an instance I remember. Let's see if you do. You and Roddy Piper were fighting. Jake Roberts came in the ring, and he just watched you two fight.
Yeah.
Didn't get involved at all. That's great psychology.
Yeah.
That says a lot about Jake, about you and Roddy,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, Jake's smart.
And none of that was laid out in advance.
No, that's just stuff you feel. Jake Roberts is a great worker. Not good, great.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to believe that something that had, well, actually, it's not hard for me to believe because I feel as you do that things are better called on the fly. But
Yeah.
for something called on the fly, look at all the memorable moments that Rumble provided.
Yeah, I know it was great. But it was so easy too. It wasn't stressful. I actually felt very comfortable in the locker room from the minute I got there, as opposed to being where I felt, God, I was 43 when I got there, Mark. Think about
Yeah,
that.
but that was one advantage you had when you went to WWE, even at that age, Rick, was you still looked the part, very much so. You were in tremendous shape. And to WWE fans, you were brand spanking new. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of WCW fans followed over and watched, to be sure, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But I would bet that most people that watched that Rumble and watched your initial days in WWE thought you were probably mid 30s, maybe even early 30s, because of the way you looked and because you hadn't been there.
I hope so. Because I swear to you, when they told me that I was too old and needed to cut my hair, that's still going to be. I think we might see her this weekend, and I'm going to shake his hand. But I still cut my hair, man. I mean, as we've discussed many times, psychologically, it murdered me.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, if you want to shake Jim Herd's hand when you see him, you can do that. I'm going to have some hard questions for him because I still can't believe some of the stuff that you were asked to do. But we'll get back to that. Now, I want to go over some of the names. I got a list here from that Royal Rumble. We talk about the star power in that match.
Yep.
Hogan, Flair, Piper, Savage, HBK, Jake, Undertaker, DiBiase, Snuka, Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter, Sid Justice, Kerry Von Erich, Davey Boy Smith. The list goes on and on, Nate.
Yeah.
It's a who's who from that era. It's an amazing group.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
Yep.
and how do you get all those guys? Well, it's a battle royal, so it's a different psychology. But how do you get all those guys to work together and not let ego get in the way?
I just think everybody was so happy when you're up there, even though you work hard, which we all did, but we were all used to that. I think that you have a level of comfort because you know you're going to get treated fairly. All you can ask for is to be treated fairly and given the opportunity.
Now, what were your most memorable spots from the Rumble? What do you remember just thinking back right now that stood out?
Oh, the stuff with Roddy like to jab and punch me and stuff, of course. Anytime I can, touch the Undertaker, be in the ring with him, I love that.
A very young Undertaker, too.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
young.
yeah. But and then of course having Hulk come in, and just doing my little routine with Hulk, no selling my chops, and yeah, just having fun. And the thing which everybody needs to remember, I've told people this forever, but which I've always been conscious of. You have to remember that if you're in the focus of first of all, like 18 or 19,000 people, but you're on a camera, you can't stop working. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to be careful of every punch, every chop, every kick, because one lame thing can, I look like crap. I mean, it's just one thing, and the fans pick up on it.
Oh, no question. I think for the live crowd, like you said, you're not aware of what camera shots being used.
Yeah.
You got to go all out all the time. You got to sell. You got to, get your stuff in. You got to do everything. You got to wrestle it almost like it's a one-on-one match, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
How hard is that to remember for 60 minutes in that context?
It wasn't hard for me at all. I'm telling you, from the minute I got there, I felt relieved. I felt relieved.
Now,
go ahead.